Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Rita. I hope you all are doing well and having a blessed week. So it has been a while since we've done a chat about the goings on in the church.
You got preachers up here talking about they are against abortion. Good, so don't have one then. But don't impose your feelings on other people because your patriarchy is reckless.
To be quite honest, I am a little disheartened by the things that I am seeing, by the tomfoolery.
Diva of the world.
And all sorts of...
June 19th. We give thanks for Harriet Tubman, Ashe. We give thanks for Frederick Douglass, Ashe. Michael Jackson, Prince, Minnie Riper.
Stuff that we're seeing in a lot of churches, and I mean a lot. What we're going to talk about today is something that I feel like has seeped into the church and is affecting the culture. New thought practices in the church.
The fact that you go inside of a third dimension and you get the word of the Lord inside of the third dimension.
That I think well-meaning people who really believe they are Christians, who really go to church and believe that they are serving God, are actually practicing new thought stuff. Manifesting and affirmation.
Prophesying your future. And this is great when we're saying things like, I'm blessed, I'm strong, I will accomplish my dreams. You are prophesying victory, prophesying new levels.
These all have their place in the law of attraction. Manifestations, sound vibrations, all of these things, alignments, all of these things that we are hearing are not biblical. It is a shame that there are places that call themselves churches who have postured themselves as leaders in the church who are basically teaching occultism from pulpits.
You are smart. You are strong. You are seen.
And blessed, prosperous.
What is manifestation? And I'm using a Wikipedia definition here. Manifestation or manifesting refers to various self-help strategies that can purportedly make an individual's wishes come true by mentally visualizing them. Manifestation techniques are based on the law of attraction of new thought spirituality. While the process involves positive thinking or even directing requests to the universe or source, it also involves actions on the part of the individual. We have a problem. Manifesting is now taking the place of prayer to God. That's number one. It is something spiritual, having nothing to do with God, having nothing to do with the Bible, already to do with asking the universe, a created thing, for something. Okay, next, what is New Thought? So the New Thought movement is a spiritual movement that coalesced in the United States in the early 19th century. New Thought was seen by its adherents as succeeding ancient thought, accumulated wisdom, and philosophy from a variety of origins such as ancient Greek, Roman, Egyptian, Chinese, Taoist, Vedic, Hindu, and Buddhist cultures, and their related belief systems, primarily regarding the human mind and the effects of these within and beyond the human mind. Okay, sounding very metaphysical, because it is. New Thought was seen by its adherents. So there are adherents to New Thought. Religions have adherents.
Our founder, his name is Dr. Ernest Holmes, and he was born in New England, and he was born and raised, educated there. And then he gravitated to the West Coast, where he did his teaching and healing work. Now, he was greatly impacted as he grew up by the writings of Emerson and the American Transcendentalists, also by a British judge named Thomas Troward, and then by reading some of the earlier translations of the Hindu texts of the Upanishads. And he put all of that together in what he eventually would do. Our teaching then actually is a blend of Eastern and Christian mysticism. And we also bring into it the deep mystical teachings of all the faith paths, which is why on most Sundays you will hear us bless all faith paths, the deep truths in those paths, because that's what sources what we're all about.
There's a list here, and it says that it talks about modern day adherents of New Thought and their core beliefs. God or infinite intelligence is supreme, universal, and everlasting. So when these people talk about God, this is not the same God. This is a general God name. Number 2, divinity dwells within each person, that all people are spiritual beings. Number 3 of the core beliefs, the highest spiritual principle is loving one another unconditionally and teaching and healing one another. But the 10 commandments, the first commandment is to love God. But this is saying their highest principle is love one another. Our mental states are carried forward into manifestation and become our experience in daily living. That kind of sounds like lived experience, right? So what you think, you are, and become our experience in daily living. You can think something all you want. That doesn't make it so. But in the world we're living in, that's exactly what we're facing, a battle between objective and subjective truth. Let's talk about law of attraction, how this all ties together. Law of attraction is the New Thought spiritual belief. Remember, this is a spiritual belief that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life. The belief is based on the idea that people and their thoughts are made from pure energy and that like energy can attract like energy, thereby allowing people to improve their health, wealth, or personal relationships.
That there is a frequency of vibration and energy to everything in existence, and that somehow all of that energy, frequency, vibrational stuff is connected.
I would like to suggest that much of what we are seeing in society, as far as all of the crazy stuff, twisted sense of morality that we hear from activists, another scripture that talks about how the mercy of the wicked is cruel. So I think a lot of that has to do with this religion, thinking people are inherently good. All of it is pointing towards something outside of scripture, something other than the Bible. And the reason I bring this up is because Christians, professing Christians,
our goal is to manifest as Christians.
First time I manifested as a Christian.
This is actually occultism. Out of context, some people will use verses like Proverbs 18 and 21, which says, the tongue has the power over life and death. Those who indulge in it must eat its fruit. That scripture, if you read what is around the verses around that scripture, it's clearly talking about how our words affect the people around us. It's always connected with others, right? What we say to other people, how we shape our interactions with other people, never focused on ourselves, never focused on some universe, always how we interact with other people and how the things that we say, what it reveals about us, right? Jesus in the New Testament, there's a verse where he says, it's not what goes in the mouth, what comes out of the mouth that defiles. Make a point in saying, it's not what you eat that is defiling you. What's defiling you is what is coming out of your mouth. Very practical. Okay, these scriptures. Nothing ethereal and woo about them. It's not talking about we have the power to turn to make things appear out of nothing. Again, that would make us God, and we are not him. Now, next, let's get back to this manifestations, right? This article on Oprah's website says, visualize, meditate, pray to the universe, speak your intentions out loud. It says, create a vision board and or a future box, which is a container full of pictures of items you want to manifest. This is some form of witchcraft. So at the very end of this article, it basically says, manifesting is also known as co-creating because it's a collaboration between you and the universe. If you've never read Job, it's basically this interaction with Job in the Bible with his friends. Job, you probably already know the story, has undergone quite a bit and is kind of feeling down on himself and saying a whole lot. And God actually speaks and intervenes. In this speech, God starts off by saying, "Who is this darkening my plans with his ignorant words? Stand up like a man and brace yourself. I'll ask the questions and you give the answers. Where were you when I founded the earth? Tell me, if you know so much, do you know who determined its dimensions or who stretched the measuring line across it? No, you're not a co-creator. No, you don't have any bearing on what is happening in this universe, on this earth, as far as the climate or anything else. You cannot manifest. You cannot do affirmations. You are not God." For the Christian, this is not of God. It is magic, witchcraft. Just because you're not singing and dancing in front of chicken feet or whatever kind of movie magic you want to put into it, it is still part of the occult. It is abominable in the sight of God. We already know that when we read about mediums and the occult in the Bible. It is cause for eternal damnation. This manifestations, affirmations, all of these things have nothing to do with God, have nothing to do with prayer. Now, some people will try to say, oh, but Hebrews tells us that by faith, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. But that faith is faith in God and the things that he, and his promises that he's already made. People are free to do what they want, but this has nothing to do with Christianity and everything to do with some other Jesus, some other God, some other religion. If you are somebody who is manifesting, I will be praying that you will get out of that, because that is, like I said, damnable. It has crept into the church, and I pray that the real church will rise up and continue to call out this nonsense. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Until next time, ciao. God bless.